the customers. So welcome. I'm going to get right to it. So hopefully you've completed the template from last week. You've completed the assignments from last week, where really you completed the template of how well do you know your customers. So you need to have completed that to go on this journey today. Okay, I did mine. Okay, so we really mean business. That template is really the core of the work for this topic in terms of understanding your customers. So if you remember module 1, I covered identifying them. So who are your customers, right? What are their profiles? Hopefully you've done that work for yourself. And I'm teaching the skills so that you can implement this on any other initiative of project or business you want to build in the future, right? Any other initiative of project, you can use this again. So number 1, identify them. Number 2, understand them. Understanding them is the template, right? Where their needs, their desires, we put all of that down. Go and access module 2. You dive deeper into that, right? And then the outcomes from that exercise is what we're going to use today, which is around creating value for them, meaning your products and your services. So sometimes this is what we find, that first-time entrepreneurs go in with the product. They create the product first, and then they're looking for people who need that product. Okay? That works sometimes, but what I'm teaching here is a strategy that will help you get better results. Okay? So the strategy I'm teaching today will help you get better results. The better result is when you have clarity of intention in terms of who you're hoping to serve, what their deep needs are. This is also the path of growing your business faster, is because you're going to be launching products and services that is deeply connected to the needs and the demands of a group of people. Here's what people do in reverse. They create a product in vacuum, hoping or assuming that the moment they announce their new book, their new product, their new this, everybody in the world will just say, whoa, we wanted that. Does that happen? This is also part of your market entry strategy, your launching strategy, is that if you do all of this work and you do the assignment I give you, okay, here on the academy, if you do these assignments, guess what? You're positioning yourself for greater success, right? When it's time to launch the product and the service, because you already you've built it with intention. You know who needs it. You know why they need it. You're going to use all of that language, even in your marketing and branding. And that's what will get you results. Okay. So last week, we dove deeper into clarity and understanding your customers. So now that you understand them and you've answered all the questions I asked you to answer last week. So what we're going to do today, okay, is for each of those answers you gave, you're going to ask this question. Now what? Now that I know that this group of people have a desire. So I'll give examples because from mine, okay? But you have to do this for yourself. So let me pick the academy. I know that entrepreneurs, desire to be successful. Okay, you don't set out on the journey of entrepreneurship hoping for failure. Never mind what people tell you out there. Fail fast. No, we want to succeed. And we want to do it fast. And we want to do it quickly. And we want it to be less painful. Right? And I can teach you how to achieve all of that. You see my point? I know ultimately that's a desire we all have. I'm an entrepreneur as well. So this is I figured it for myself. Now it's part of making sure other people that have that desire, they know where to get the information they need to achieve success in their business. Okay. That's an example of how you take that information and say, now what? Now that you know that's a desire, what are you going to do about it? What I've done about it is to launch the academy. Right? Because it didn't come from, oh, Tony, I just feel like, no. There are other things I want to do. But this came from a deep, deep, deep desire that I kept engaging for years. For years. People who come, oh, Toyin, this, I want to build a business. I want to do this, agriculture, this, that, this, that. Everybody comes with their desire. And I see it. But then I realized, but you don't have the skill. You're missing the skill. The entrepreneurship foundation is not secure. Right? So now what? Once I understood, okay, I see your desire, I see what you're trying to do. Okay. And I also see in the blind spot that you're struggling. You may not want to admit it, but you're struggling. And I see that you could do it better if you had certain information, knowledge, capacity, training. Now, what for me was, okay, I will create a solution. How would I solve that? So my courses, programs, academy, it's matured over time. So me bringing solutions to the marketplace to address those needs over time has evolved, right? I started with master classes, okay, government, private sector, and then it's kept growing because guess what? The people are like, yes, and more, and more, and more, and I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just create a year program in the academy, right? And try and document all those things like the seven process, the game plan, leadership success. That was my now what. Because if you don't care, then you're not going to say now what. You'll be like, it's not my business. If they're struggling, they have a need and they're struggling, and I'm like, it's not my business. But so that's why that assignment, you want to do it for people you care about. If you don't care, then this is not for you, right? So that's one of the ways you now build for them. Okay. And when you build for them, guess what? They're like, that's what I needed. I see you. So it's easier to sell what people need. It's a lot harder for you to sell what people are not looking for. There's another strategy. So in my one-on-one, if you're innovating, so there's another strategy around building for the future, because there's another structure, right, that I have. There are other platforms that I have that is about building for the future. So so that's another lesson. That's more advanced. Building for the future is more advanced than building for today. Okay, so the template is building for today, building for tomorrow, like the immediate tomorrow. Building for the future, which is what I'm trained to do as well, looks different because you are in the blind spot. The future doesn't even know they're going to need you in the future. That's another strategy. So when you think about Zoom built for the future. So when the future woke up with COVID, Zoom was like, yes, we knew one day the whole world would need this. And here we are. They were just in time. So, but that's an advanced strategy. If you need more information about that, reach out. Okay. But what I'm talking about right now is if you're in a situation and you want to start making money sooner rather than later, is that you need, if you can serve a ready market, you can bring a need that already exists, not the one people don't even know they need. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's like another example is Elon Musk. He invested greatly in Tesla, the future of cars. And guess what? He's been rewarded because he built for that future. Now the demand has increased, but he spent years investing and leveling up that landscape. Okay. So that's something innovative thinkers struggle with in terms of you see the future, particularly, right? You see the future, you see where the world is going, you're building for that future just in time for demand to increase, but the demand may not be there. You're going to build for demand to come in. You're going to market to stimulate hunger. So that's a strategy for if you're building for the future. But if you're building for today, start with desire. There's a desire for entrepreneurs to be successful, but I see that they don't know how. I see that they're struggling, and I'm saying you can do it better, faster, with less frustration. If you master the skills I teach, if you join my academy, you invest in it, and you acquire the skills that I'm teaching. Okay? Also right? Don't we all want to just sleep? Automate and then sleep, right? How do you do that? So the classes that I teach, okay, are designed to help people achieve their wants. So when I say automation, when I say structure, I know you want to build something sustainable. That is, you're not just in the business, but the business is also serving you long term. I know that's what entrepreneurs want. Okay. So the programs and the classes that I've designed within the academy, excuse me. So the programs and the academy are designed for the ones. Okay. Now, I know you want to be successful. Big picture. How do you become successful? The need supports that. The want supports that. And in today, as I'm talking about building and creating value for your customer, this is how you create value for your customer. You take that template that you've completed, and each of the things you wrote down as their needs, you're going to solve and address that with your product and your services. And I'm giving you example now. For example, one other need that people have approached me on, which I'm solving right now. So in this dimension, I let people signal to me what they want. And then I go to work, create it, and I bring it. It's easy at that point. I'm not trying to sell you because you already told me you wanted this. Okay. People have told me, Tony, we need one course. We know your program is a year long and you're teaching every week. But is there one thing that could just give us a big dose? They want a super dose. So I'm working on a super dose. That'll give them the set, because in my one-on-ones, it's accelerated, right? My one-on-one is like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and it's accelerated. You launch a new program, you launch a new business in that period. So people are saying, even for those of us that are not in your one-on-one, is there something you could just put together a dose? Somebody say introduction to entrepreneur. They've called it different names, and I'm like, okay, I'll work on that. So that's what it means to create value. So I'm working on creating that value that the customers are asking for. So if you've done that work from that template last week, okay, guess what's going to happen? Today is about creating value based on all of those things. So desire, entrepreneurs want to be successful. Want, need. What do they need to achieve that? What pain can you help them remove? I see entrepreneurs struggling. Why? They don't have the skills. They think it's overnight. Now, here is also what's going to happen, that when you complete that template, okay, all of the information, because I have mine, okay, all of that information, this is what you're going to create content around. People out there will say more content, more content. I say have a content strategy, and this is going to support you in your product creation and your service launch. Is going to support you when you're building your pricing strategy, because it's a value statement. What is the value of that solution to the people you hope to serve? Okay. It's also going to help you in your marketing strategy, or when you're developing your content plan, because people are like, what should I post? You already mapped out what's on people's minds, what they're thinking about, what they're trying to achieve. And your content, all you have to do is just create content around this. You don't go out of this. Anything out of this, you're wasting. Those are the messages that people are just pouring that nobody pays attention to, right? So content, for example, I know the desire of people for entrepreneurs is to be successful. So a content could be how to become a successful entrepreneur. What do you need to be successful? You want entrepreneurship to be easy. How can it be easy? Okay. Are you branding your product? Right. So all of a sudden, I don't have to look for content, because you've done the work to understand what's on people's mind, what information they need, what they're trying to achieve. And your job is to support them on that journey. So today's session is using last week's output in terms of the assignment from last week, and then coming in today, and everything you identified as a need, want, desire, all of those things, okay? Aspirations, pain points, right? Everything that you wrote out, you're going to say, now what? Now that I know they need that, what am I going to do? Do I already have a product or service that will help them do it better? If not, do I want to launch a new product or service to support that? This is how you grow and your capacity, and this is how you grow your business. Okay, is that you look at your portfolio, because most people want to sell product. They're like, oh, we've created a product. Okay, who wants it? You're not now, you have to now look for the people. But I say, if you already know what people are looking for, it's easier to create to meet that need. They will thank you for it, they will appreciate it, they will pay you for it, they will reward you for it. Why? Because it's targeted to a need they're already struggling with. So that's what today is about. And then next week, we're going to talk about marketing, right? So when this video process, I'll post it in the private space, in the coaching and course room. There are tons of courses there. And then next week, we're going to talk about marketing, how you're going to also use this information, like I was sharing, in creating your marketing strategy. So today is evaluate your product and your services. Does your product map to the desired needs ones that we wrote out? If not, do you need to create new products to support them? Right? Because this is what people are saying they need. If you're trying to sell what people don't need, that's why they're not responding. This is the easy path to entrepreneurship. And when you do that work, so in the next 7 days, work on redefining your product portfolio or service portfolio, connect it back to the assignment from last week. And then next week, we're going to take it to the market. So that's it for today. So go back, complete the templates. That template is something you can keep using over and over again. It's so important. It's going to help you in your marketing, because my job is to make entrepreneurship easy. If you master these principles I teach, you're set. You're set. You go to bed, you automate, you do certain things, but you have to lay this foundation first. So we're going on a journey. This year, we've gone on the journey of branding. We've gone on the journey of mindset, leadership coaching. Now this month, we're on the journey of what? Customers. 5-part series. We are now on part 3, and then next week will be part 4, and then the last week of the month we'll go into part 5 in terms of selling and supporting your customers and clients. So thank you for checking this out. When this video processes on the platform, on the leadership, on the Business and Leadership Academy, right? So it will post, and then you can ask any questions. I can come in, respond to the team, to the group, and then we'll go from there. But make sure you're doing this assignments, okay? You only if you don't do the work, you don't get the results. See, I also did mine. I just gave you a few examples there. So see you around. And if you have any questions, you can message me, DM me on the platform as well. We'll see you around. Take care. Bye.